Let me tell you about my brother though.
Hey, if everyone can just make sure they're on mute, that would be amazing. My name is Vanessa Joy. I have been with Ellie since September of 2024. I am here with Dr. Olivia. She is an amazing chiropractor, but also runs and owns a medical spa. And we are here tonight to talk to you about midlife metabolism reset. This is the new science. I like to look at it as this is where science is meeting like holistic care with peptide therapy and regenerative health. So, once we hit our 40s, oh my goodness, for all of us, things start to shift and change. And the things that we did in our 20s and 30s aren't really working anymore. But there is science backed weight loss breakthrough, but not just weight loss, like cellular healing and regenerative healing. And honestly, in 2019, no one was talking about this. And I just started because I have been studying holistic health for 20 years. I started just like trying everything. I'm like a little science experiment. And I went to my doctor from Hippocrates Health Institute, and she said, Vanessa, you've got to just trust me. This is where science is going. So this was back in 2020. She's like, peptides are the future. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to lay it all out for you, really easy to understand, and give you some tools and ideas and things that you can use to help your community, yourself, to regain confidence, health, and just feel like yourself again. So, you're in the right place, right? So, you're here, you've been doing everything right. You're going to the gym, you're working out, you're eating less, you're doing what the doctors say, you go get a blood panel, they tell you, oh, everything's within range. Well, you know that something's off. Your metabolism seems slower. The food noise is like screaming. Your midsection, the visceral fat, like you've tried everything and nothing's really working. So, are you ready to understand what really works? Well, I'm so glad you guys are here tonight because we have a lot in store for you and want to explain the things that have helped to transform our lives. I feel better than I ever have. I would say ever. Like I used to say better than in my 20s, but I really feel better than I ever have in my life. Just the mental clarity, mind, body, spirit connection. Um, and yeah, so Dr. Olivia.
Sure. Thanks for having me, Vanessa. You guys, I'm super excited. As she mentioned, I'm a chiropractor. So, my patients and I, we've always done all things holistic. And when we opened our medical spa, it's all natural body contouring. So many amazing things in this holistic world that are working for our patients. And I was lucky enough to kind of have dove into my patient population, which happened to be women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. And a lot of them were all saying the same thing. I do everything right, and this won't budge. My labs look good, and I feel off, or I lost the spark. And we finally kind of discovered the whole science that, like, just like Vanessa said, goes along with the holistic care to treat not just the individual, but balance your hormones, boost your body's natural signaling, and getting you feeling better than you ever have in your entire life. So I like to tell women, your metabolism, it didn't just get weaker. What
It's
happened
exactly
was
what she
your
said for my pitfalls.
biology actually shifted. And this is what changes in midlife. So the when estrogen drops, this is kind of what starts driving all of these annoying, frustrating changes in our body. So When estrogen declines, we start storing fat. We take it from our hips and thighs when we were of childbearing years, and it starts going into our abdomen because we no longer have to be fertile. But unfortunately, this abdominal fat, this visceral fat, is the bad fat. It surrounds our organs. It's making us sick. And this is actually important to remember for later. You guys, the other thing that happens is progesterone declines, then our growth hormone drops. And don't think of this as just building muscle or the guys in the gym. Growth hormone is honestly a really, really important for metabolism and many other things that we'll dive into, okay? But then the muscle mass decreases. Muscle is another important organ of metabolism. Sleep becomes lighter. This is something that our patients are really struggling with, and there's not a good answer for them in mainstream medicine. And now that we know how to treat the midlife woman, we have an answer for that. So the other biological shift that's happening is we're increasing our cortisol, which is our stress hormone, and that stores fat. Our insulin resistance is going up. That's something a lot of you have probably heard about, but also this drop in estrogen increases our inflammation. And these are all things that are working against us. And everything holistic is great, and doing all the right things is great. When all of these things are working against us, we're up against something bigger, and we need better, more modern tools. So drop a one in the chat if this sounds familiar, you guys. This sounds super familiar to me. So I'll go that right there. You're not failing though. Your strategy, it just hasn't evolved with your physiology. Oh, can I do these?
I got it.
That for me?
I got you, girl.
Perfect. And this is what I like to have my patients, walk through. Like, just imagine your clothes fitting comfortably. Imagine that stubborn belly fat that they usually just grab their stomach, they look at me and they say, "This happened overnight." This we can actually take care of. We need you feeling confident and strong again and not having that food noise that Vanessa really, really touched on. And here's the tough truth, and I say this with love, if nothing changes, the next 5 years are just going to look like the last 5 years, only they're going to be harder, right? It's not just going to magically reverse. Unfortunately, the world that we live in, we're bombarded with a lot of things that are out of our control. So I want you to understand your midlife biology tonight, and this will make everything easier.
Okay, so these faces may look familiar if you're on Team Joy. But I do want to tell you on the left is Alyssa, and she has lost over 100 pounds. This wasn't a quick fix for her. She's done like the hard work. She had bariatric surgery and then started her peptide journey shortly thereafter. She is in the gym, killing it every day. She's taking care of herself. She has really, what I like to say is we have this window of opportunity while we're using these peptides to really maximize them, working out, eating properly, taking care of yourself, mind, body, and spirit. Um, these peptides aren't just a quick fix. And Alyssa is definitely the poster child for what can happen when you really take advantage of the peptide therapy along with your lifestyle choices, food choices. And then Jen Magic on the right actually has Hashimoto's and she is thriving. She has settled those symptoms down, has lost the weight, but it's just so, so much more than the weight loss. She is glowing from the inside out. And I love seeing these results.
And that's the glow. I wanted to touch on that too.
Yes,
Those
totally.
after photos, the women are so confident, and that's why I
Let
like
me go
those after
back.
photos. You can see their body change, but look at their face, look at their expressions. They're just shining. They're shining in their true self.
I love that, Dr. Olivia. Thank you for saying that. It's so true. It's really so true.
And this is why what we did in our 20s isn't working for us anymore. Eating less is not working for us in our 40s. Eating less just slows our metabolism at this point. You can't starve your way to weight loss anymore.
Oh
This also increases, oh, that's me. Hey
my
guys.
gosh.
But
Sorry. I'm so
no
sorry. I don't know
problem.
what happened.
What dieting does in our 40s, 50s, beyond is it's just going to slow your metabolism. It's going to increase your cravings. A lot of times we eat less, the food noise becomes louder, and then that causes binging later on down the road. This also increases your cortisol levels. So cortisol, the stress hormone, it also stores fat. Um, Dieting in our 40s, being underfueled, it also decreases your muscle mass. You guys, our muscles need energy. It needs fuel to perform, to work out, and do our everyday life. Dieting and
Oh
crash
my
dieting
gosh.
in our 40s, it just makes the rebound even worse.
Okay,
Let,
guys. I'm so sorry.
I wonder if
I'm
I can
like,
share my screen
I'm
here.
trying to find what happened to it.
It's hard when you have so
I
many
was
things
trying
going
to, if
on, right?
everyone, well, no, if everyone can just make sure they're on mute. So that's what I was trying to do, was just
I'm
mute
muting everybody,
everyone.
Vanessa. I got you.
Thank you. And now I need to find the Canva presentation. Do you have it up on yours, Dr. Olivia?
I sure can look.
Ah. Okay, guys, we're going to do a question and answer at the end. So think of all the questions that you want to ask while I'm figuring this out. Thank you.
Okay, I do have this open on my end. If I go to present mode and then I can share my screen.
Yes,
Let's see.
please do, because I don't know what happened to it. It's like missing.
All
Where did
right.
it go? Our beautiful presentation. Let
Vanessa,
me
did
just.
you click the Google Chrome button at the bottom?
Let's see.
Ah,
Does this
you're
work for
amazing,
everyone?
Blair. I got it. I got it. I got it. We're on it.
Perfect.
She's got
Just
it. We're good.
going with it. We're going with the flow.
I love it. And it just shows we're very regulated women, right? But
That's
no,
right.
this is something that I do like to touch on because as women, we are always given the same advice that they are giving men, and it's eat less and move more. And that does not work for our bodies, the way our hormones work, the way our cycles work. Dieting fails, eating less and moving more slows our metabolism, it makes us lose more muscle, then it increases the food noise, increases our stress hormones. You guys, I like this quote, so I added it here, but dieting harder after 40 is like pushing the gas pedal while our engine is off. You know, this we just respond differently as women. So we don't need to eat less. We need to eat in a way that supports our physiology. Okay. The other thing that is really tough as a female in midlife is same thing. They give men these recommendations of workouts. Well, exercise for us, it's getting harder. Our recovery is slowing down. You can do everything right in the gym, but if
Yes.
inflammation is high, our hormones are low, our sleep is poor, our body just doesn't respond. It can even store fat. I had a patient the other day who said, the second I got home from Disney World, it was 3 months ago, she said, I've gained 12 pounds. She went through these 20,000 steps a day days, which were fantastic. The minute she got home and stopped stepping 20,000 steps a day, her body said, I'm going to hold on to everything, right? So women in our midlife, we just struggle with eating less and working harder. You cannot out exercise these biology shifts. So I want you to be really empowered with this information of actually what you can do after 40 or after a hormonal change, because you can't keep doing what you were doing in our 20s. So this is where the breakthrough happens. This weight loss in our midlife, this requires lowering inflammation. Before we do peptides, you need a foundation, right? We need to eat less inflammatory foods and use some anti-inflammatory tools like turmeric, red light therapy. But you also need to restore your metabolic flexibility. And what we mean by that is that you can use different sources of fuel, fat, carbs, protein, as energy. not just what crash dieting did in our 30s and 40s. And so many women have spent
Mhm.
decades restricting not just nutrients, but entire food groups, right? And we need to be able to take all of these in again. So another thing that's really important, and we're going to get to how to do this tonight, is this supporting your growth hormone pathways. This isn't just for the bodybuilders. Growth hormone in midlife women, this protects your muscle. This promotes deep restorative sleep and recovery, as well as boosting your metabolism. Who doesn't want all of those? I do. I love it. We need to improve our insulin sensitivity. We need our cells to be able to take in the glucose. We need to rebuild some muscle, calm our stress response. That works for everyone. If you just tell them don't stress out about anything anymore, it works really well. So I'm joking. We all have a lot of stress and we're going to fix this, okay? So we'll improve sleep quality and support our cell repair at a cellular level. This is the foundational blueprint behind every client success story that you're going to hear about tonight. So drop a yes if this is making sense, because this is what's different between us and men. And again, your body's just changed. You can't keep doing what you did in your 20s. In my clinic, we have always spoke to metabolism, muscle, and mindset. This is something that we've always ran even before we implemented peptides in our clinic. Now we're just adding this fourth M, this modern medical tools, because holistic care is so important and so great, especially for midlife women. But like we talked about before, we are being bombarded like we've never been before with stress, things in our environment, things in our water that we can't control. So we need these modern medical tools to feel like ourselves again. And Vanessa's going to touch a little bit on the peptides themselves. So again, think of your questions and we'll answer them at the end.
Okay. All right. I didn't keep up with you.
Oh, you're
I
fine.
didn't keep up with you with the slides.
I'll
Okay.
dive. Oh, are you guys seeing my screen? I thought I was screen sharing this whole time. I was sharing mine. We must have been doing it
I'm not
together.
sure. I don't know. Okay. Well, I'm seeing mine. Maybe they're
Perfect.
seeing yours, but we're here. Okay, so
We made it.
basically, we made it. We're here. Okay, everyone's hearing peptides. Um, you're hearing it all over the place. A peptide is basically a simple, small chain of amino acids. They're like the tiny little building blocks that your body uses to like literally function and create everything. You can think of them like little beads on a necklace. So between like 2 and 50 amino acids, we call them peptides. Um, they are linked together, and anything over 50 is actually a protein. And this is why it is so important to get proper nutrition and get enough protein. Your body already makes thousands of peptides every day, but as we age, um, those peptides, kind of the hormones in our bodies, kind of lower. Especially nowadays, Dr. Olivia tapped into our environment that we're living in. I like to say we're like living in a toxic soup. Even for me personally, for someone, I've been using natural deodorant for 23 years. Before natural deodorant was a thing, I make my own detergent. I've been super clean, and it was actually quite shocking to me that I found myself in the condition of health that I was in when I hit 40. I did have 4 babies back to back to back and lived in a really stressful, married to an entrepreneur. We moved a bunch, had hockey boys. And so as a woman, just kind of like, you know, ladies, we're like push and push and push. And then we hit this wall, and it's like, holy cow, what happened? It was shocking to me to find myself in this position. But basically, these peptides act like little messengers. They're like signaling cells in the body to repair tissue, reduce inflammation, balance hormones, build muscle, and improve your metabolism. So these peptides, they're not foreign or synthetic chemicals. They're actually bioidentical, meaning that they match the sequences your body naturally recognizes. So when we inject them, we are not forcing the body to do something that it doesn't want to do. We're actually reminding it and giving it a little signal like, oh, yeah, this is what I need to do. So it's like handing the exact key it already uses. It's just a little bit more of it. So this is why peptide therapy works with your body rather than against it. You're gently nudging, amplifying your own repair, your own regenerative symptoms instead of overriding them and forcing them. Um, so let's see. GLP-1. We've heard of this. Everyone's talking about it. So there is a difference between the GLP-1 and the GLP-GIP. You've heard of them. They reduce cravings, improve blood sugar, support steady fat loss. The GLP and GIP, appetite, cortisol, insulin, hunger. There's a little less side effect with the GLP-GIP. So the problem with generic GLP-1s, they're too strong. Um, you're getting mega dose. This can lead to, like I said, the side effects, nausea, muscle loss, or they're too weak. It's not enough for you. You're spending money with no results, no support. They're being prescribed by doctors with no recommendations. They're just writing a script. And then a lot of people I've worked with, insurance drops, you can't get it anymore, and then you rebound with your weight gain. So this is why personalization is a non-negotiable for women. So with LEMD, we are the only company out there that you can customize and choose your additive. So we have the options of B12, which is energy support, metabolic balance, nerve health, L-carnitine, exercise recovery, fat metabolism, energy production, or glycine, which is muscle preservation, sleep quality, and cognitive function. You can choose one of those additives to go into your GLP. So this is amazing. I am just in love with our company, and literally when the pharmacist is compounding your peptide, it is being customized in small batches just for you, and then shipped directly to your door. It's amazing.
And honestly, that new personalized formula gets me really excited because no one else is doing that. And so many women, they would do better with the addition of something for their cellular energy or recovery muscle. And that gets me so excited. But this is here. If you haven't been listening at all, pay attention now. Okay. This is where I think women need to hear this solution that no one's talking about, but it is what midlife women need. Okay. This is a new tool being brought to our population. But what I love about it is it's actually been around a long time. And in the peptide world, there's new things popping up a lot. This peptide is one of the most researched because it was actually developed for people with visceral fat. GLP-1s, they're going to address a part of the puzzle, but they don't directly repair the metabolism. They don't directly target the visceral, that bad, stubborn belly fat. They don't deepen your sleep, and they don't protect your muscle, right? And we talked about where midlife women get stuck, but we have something that does, and that is Tesamorelin, Ipamorelin, you guys. So comment yes if this is new for you, but Tesamorelin, Ipamorelin, this works completely differently. This doesn't suppress your appetite. This actually fixes your metabolism. Go ahead and go back one for me, Vanessa.
I'm
But
sorry.
no, you're fine.
Okay.
You're fine. These two peptides put together, they are going to turn back those metabolic signs that decline with age. Okay. So just like you can see on the screen, you guys can read, but they're going to lower that visceral belly fat, that bad fat that's sitting around your organs. They're going to improve that deep restorative sleep, which is super important for all of our hormones, actually. But they're improving this natural growth hormone signaling. We like to say GLP-1s help you eat less, but tesamorelin and ipamorelin, this helps you burn more, okay? We're going to speed up that sluggish midlife metabolism. So, okay, you can pop forward. You got it. Thanks. Thanks. This is the peptide stack that actually targets the root cause of stubborn weight after 40, not just the symptoms. So we want to solve the problem that's keeping you stuck. The other thing that's really cool about this is we have women doing it at the same time as their GLP-1 because they want to protect their muscle mass. And that's what this GH signaling does. It protects our muscle mass. We don't want to lose weight and lose our butt. We want to continue with our gym program. And
That's right.
this is where that magic happens. As a chiropractor, I'm an educator by nature. So I like to dive into the biochem. I promise I'm going to keep it light because I want to talk all about the chemistry. My patients say, what can it do for me? The cool thing that I like is when I say that growth hormone, I have a lot of women that say, I don't know if I want to do growth hormone. I don't want to, So I'd like to make it clear. Tesamorelin is not exogenous growth hormone. What it is it is the same as a growth hormone releasing hormone. This means it goes to your brain and it tells your brain to produce your body's own growth hormone. That way you can do it in our natural pulse. Naturally, our growth hormone pulses more at night while we're asleep. If we were just injecting exogenous growth hormone like the gym bros do, we would have a slew of problems. And what this is doing is allowing like Vanessa said, a gentle nudge to your own body to produce
Listening to this
something that it
talk.
can take care of, and it knows that signal. So we want to protect your results long term, and this changes everything. You can go ahead for me here. I like this little Venn diagram like we touched on just because the GLP-1 GIP paired with tesamorelin, ipamorelin is just truly unstoppable for women who want to lose weight, but who also want to live the lifestyle, that an active, healthy lifestyle, so that way you can keep your results. It also promotes that deep restorative sleep. Not only does that feel good, it helps your hormones. The other really neat thing is this GLP-1s, that helps us lose a lot of fat pretty quickly, especially subcutaneous fat. That's the fluffy fat. Now we need to target visceral fat, that stubborn belly fat, the stuff that's just, okay, I've done it all, and that hard fat doesn't fall off. Enter tesamorelin and ipamorelin, you guys. If you're someone who wants a gentler start into this is where we recommend Sermorelin. We have an injectable, but also a tablet. Again, if you're just dipping your toe in, this is a really good place to start. You're going to get a lot of the same effects. It's just gentler than Tesamorelin, Ipamorelin. Emily had a really good question. She said, or actually a really good point. If you have a lot to lose, if you need to drop the weight, that's where that GLP-1 GIP is beneficial. Just like you said, tesamorelin, ipamorelin, and I'd put sermorelin in this category, are more for that targeted visceral fat. You're not going to drop 15 pounds on it. You're going to drop dangerous belly fat, and you're going to protect muscle. What about sermorelin? It's a little gentler boost, so I would put it in the same category. But what's neat is with it being gentler, you don't have to cycle as much, so you can get the benefits longer term. Yes, pairs super well with microdosing. And really, this is where your plan here is simple, and Vanessa can help me with some patients here are ready to take the next step. Some patients are here because they want to help their friends, family, patients also take their next step. So I'm going to let Vanessa cover that part here.
Okay, so you can choose GLP-1, which is equivalent to semaglutide, or GLP-GIP, or the tesamorelin and the ipamorelin. It's amazing. You go to the website, please reach out to the person that invited you tonight. They will help you take that next first step with the website and where to go with that direct link to these products. The medication will be shipped directly to your home. You'll fill out a health questionnaire that will go to the doctor network. They will approve, prescribe, and send that to our partnered pharmacy. And it's amazing. I want to be honorable to everyone's time. We're 2 minutes over. But basically, your shipping, your peptide, and your doctor visit are all included. And you will start feeling like yourself again. You'll start feeling great and seeing results within just a few weeks. So I think at that point, we are here. We're going to open it up for question and answer. Um, if anyone, Dr. Olivia, do you see anything on there?
Mostly, can you take it with your GLP-1s? And we touched on that it's actually really
Yes,
beneficial together.
absolutely.
It's a perfect pair.
And actually, I do want to say this. I have heard it said that um, just taking the GLP or just taking one peptide is almost like wasting money because when you stack these peptides, they actually potentiate each other. They work with each other and magnify the result in your body. So let's see. It's
Joy
great
has a
with my
really good
crazy.
question here that
Yeah,
I'd
go
love to
ahead.
hit
Go.
on. So, is there a special time to take it? This is actually, there's a great time to take this is before you go to bed. We talked about those natural growth hormone pulse cycles. It pulses at night naturally, so you'll want to take it before you go to bed.
Exactly. And it's 5 days on and 2 days
Mhm.
off. And I do want to say, I have been on a hormone secretagogue, which is Tessa IPA. I've been on different forms of them for about 6 years now. This is something that just has changed my skin tone, my muscle tone, how I sleep. I just feel so much stronger. It can help with hot flashes. I saw that question come up. But this peptide is truly has transformed my life. I feel like my perimenopause symptoms, I can tell a difference when I do take a few weeks off in between cycles. Um, Really, honestly, this peptide is the foundation of my peptide path. I was
And
told
I
by
told I
a
told Vanessa this earlier, and I thought I'd share it with you all. I'm an open book here,
yes,
especially for my patients.
yes.
I did back-to-back babies and breastfeeding, so I've finally gotten to start the peptides that all of my patients are raving about. So I actually recently started Tesamorelin and Ipamorelin, was so pumped because my husband also takes it and he sleeps like a baby, drives me nuts. But the other night, I had just fed our baby, and it was like maybe it was 1:30 in the morning, and I came back to bed and I had this thought, like I woke my husband up and I initiated it all. I said,
Oh
I
yeah,
want to
baby.
do this right now. And it was great. And we just laughed. And I said, oh my God, it's Tesamorelin and Ipamorelin, my first night. And there's a saying, and it is very true. It sounds kind of funny, but if you're not horny, you're not healthy. So there's so many things that go into our health and so many indicators of our health. And as women, a lot of times we're just bogged down. We are tired. We are exhausted. We have so much stuff going on mentally. And I finally felt, oh my God, my cellular, like at a cellular level, I'm healthy again. So that's my funny story. Thanks for letting me share with you all.
No, it's amazing because I'm actually really excited. We have our new product Elate coming, and Hani is doing an educational on it Thursday night. And this is going to be a nasal spray for sexual health. And so we're going to be talking a lot about that this week. And actually, Blair and I are going to be going live tomorrow at 6 p.m. to talk about libido. It's all together, right? So we had someone speak about a year ago, and she said something that kind of stuck with me. You can measure where you're at in your health by your libido. Your libido is actually quite important. So I love that. Thank you for being vulnerable with us, Dr. Olivia. So one more question. Will Tessa-Ipple help if I don't need to lose weight? Absolutely. So that was actually the first peptide that I was introduced to before GLP and before BPC 157. That's my stack. It's my go-to stack. A hormone secretagogue, the GLP microdose, and BPC 157. It's like a magic stack. So you don't need to, this is a great peptide to share or try if you don't want to do the GLP thing. It's actually quite transformational. So as we age about mid 30s, our hormone levels are start to decrease our growth hormone. And so that by the time we're 70, it's like literally depleted. So this is a great peptide to introduce. Will the effects of GLP and B12, I assume, to lose weight stop the moment the customer no longer wants to continue? If the customer buys the set for like 6 months, well, this peptide is a long game. Oh, Dr. Olivia, what do you think about that question? I mean,
This is a really good question, and why
yeah.
because I see this in my patients. This is why I like how LEMD does things. In the regular world, someone goes to their doctor, says, I want to lose weight, I want a GLP-1, the doctor gives it to them. Does go home, eat less, eat a Snickers for supper instead of a Runza. With LEMD, seriously, this is my
I
patients.
know,
But with
I
LEMD,
know.
you're getting a book with foods you should be eating, hitting your protein goals. If we are incorporating the lifestyle changes that peptides make it so much easier for us to do, that's where that rebound weight loss doesn't happen as frequently. The other thing that we do in our clinic, we call it the 6-week foundations or slim down. We're teaching people the foundation to build your peptides on. So this is anti-inflammatory foods, targeted supplementation, and mindset techniques. So having the foundation, like LEMD sends you this journal of foods, is going to really, really help your body keep the weight off. So that's my
Amazing.
plug. Follow me on Instagram. You can see our
Amazing. I
program.
love it. Yes, Dr. Olivia Bayer. It's Bayer.
Yep.
You guys can connect with her. She's amazing. So she's have it all together. You do have to. What do you think about that last question from Veronica? You do have to do the work. You know, these are natural
Yep.
signals.
Sure. And I do have some patients that they don't change a thing. They take their GLP-1, they lose their appetite, and they drop. I just had someone who lost 30 pounds. They had started at 301 and then they plateaued. And then we talked about, okay, are we moving our body 7,000 steps? Are we drinking enough water? Are we eating enough protein? Because you guys, if we're not eating the right anti-inflammatory foods, our body gets stuck back in that storage mode. As women, we were created to carry on the population, right? So if there's a time of famine, our body holds onto fat so that we can bear children. It's the physiology. I'm a physiologist by nature. So if we're starving our body of the nutrients it's looking for, we hold on to fat. To bust through a plateau, okay, what are the foundations? Anti-inflammatory foods, getting enough protein, adequate water, and gentle movement. So you can lose some weight without changing your habits, but if you want it to be long lasting, the GLP-1s help you change your habits because you don't have the food.
Absolutely.
And sleep. Sure. Oh
I
my
know.
gosh.
I was going to say that the first 4 weeks, they say your sleep improves on Tessa, and then within 8 weeks, you will see some kind of shift. You should see some kind of shift with your visceral fat, and that's all on the LEMD website. So again, Dr. Olivia, you're amazing. I
Oh,
just
well, I
love
appreciate
you.
you having us. Thank you guys. But really,
And
either path you choose forward is perfect, but doing nothing just keeps you exactly where you've been. So your transformation can start. It's just take the step, decide that you want to move forward. And anyone in here, whoever invited you, Vanessa, myself, we can help you figure out your best first step.
amazing. Thank you so much, Dr. Olivia. Thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful evening. Remember, connect with the person who invited you. This will be recorded. We will share it out, and you can share it with anyone that was unable to join tonight. Thank you guys so much. Have a blessed night. I'm going to try to get off.